So Louisiana Tech grad, 1981. For those keeping score, that makes me 65. LSU Law School, met my wife, Tisdale, when we were in college at Tech. I'm in Baton Rouge for 4 years. Recruited back here in 1985 to work at what was then Ruston State Bank in the trust department. Johnny Maxwell was the president of Ruston State Bank, and he recruited me to come back and do that. And so that's how we got back to Ruston in 1985. Working at the bank for about 5 years, felt like there was an opportunity to spin out the trust department of the bank into a separate entity. And so we actually accomplished that in May of 1990. And I think that independence has allowed us to put our clients first in the decisions that we make on their behalf. In our world, we're in the service business, so we have to humble ourselves, take what I refer to as a second seat to our client to serve them. But we also have to have confidence in our competencies. We have to know that we're capable of delivering the service that that client deserves. So there's a little bit of a tension, I guess, between humbling yourself to serve, but also knowing that you're capable of delivering the service that that client wants, needs, or deserves. If a client or prospect senses that culture, they're going to be a lot more apt to do business with us. You know, we had an idea. I wouldn't call it a strategic plan, but we had an idea that we could do more on a broader scale. What we learned was it's not a linear process. You don't add one and one and one and get to 4. Sometimes you get to 3. Sometimes you get to 7 when you're doing that. And I like to say we have a plan. We're not married to it. The term that I would use is we are strategically opportunistic, meaning that we have a plan. We want to stay roughly in the lane or on the highway that we're running on, but we're also available, looking for the right opportunities that might take us a little bit off that plan. As I said earlier, it's not a linear process. There are curves, there are bumps, there are ramps that take you places that you never thought you might go. But if you're not open to those opportunities, you're not going to be able to achieve them. But you got to have a plan of generally what you want to do, but you can't be so married to it that you can't take advantage when there are opportunities. And you also know that there's going to be some side steps. There's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some things that don't go according to plan, and you just have to persevere through that. A statement that was made actually when we started the company, which really has, I think, propelled Argent in this growth pattern. And that statement was, there may be a limit of things we can do in Ruston, but there's no limit of things we can do from Ruston. And that's kind of been a rally cry, I guess, for us that, Ruston's a small town. We like that. So, even if we did business with everybody in town, that might not be all that we could do, but, we wanted to serve first here, but also realize that this place gave us a platform that we could do things in other places as well. But we're real proud to be from Ruston and Lincoln Parish. We had a saying pretty early on that we adopted that we don't live to work, we work to live. And I think maintaining some kind of balance about that is really critical, because you may not be as successful at whatever point in time as you might think you are in business, but there are other things in life that are critically important, and you can't let that overtake other parts of your life. So you got to do what you got to do to keep the business going. But if you don't take some time away from that, or make sure that you maintain priorities, you can find yourself in a spot that you won't necessarily like. And you might achieve great business success and have a pretty hollow feeling about it at the end because you've missed out or lost out on other things.